in Syria. At least 83 people were killed yesterday across the country by pro-regime forces. 9 women and 3 children were among 18 people killed in a pre-dawn bombardment of a residential neighborhood in Daraa. Dozens more were wounded, some of them seriously. A total of 44 civilians have been killed in Homs and Damascus in the latest fighting. The toll comes among growing international anger over the Syrian crackdown on a revolt in which more than 13,500 people, mostly civilians, have been killed since March 2011.
On Friday and into the weekend, fierce clashes broke out in Kafr Sousse. Smoke billowed over the city and fighting erupted across the capital, resulting in what is described as the worst widespread fighting Damascus has seen. This is Al Midan, also in the city center. And the suburbs, long a hotbed of opposition, like Barzeh and Qaboon. Video posted to YouTube claimed that gunfire was heard in Qaboon throughout the night. By day, UN monitors surveyed the wreckage, damaged shops, burnt out carcasses of vehicles. This level of fighting in Damascus is causing speculation that the uprising may be at a turning point. Earlier in the week, this video was posted showing young activists burning tires. According to the font, it was filmed just 170 meters, or some 600 feet, from the president's residence. The regime may not have entirely lost its grip on Damascus, but it is ever so slowly beginning to slip.
In the third biggest city, Homs, areas still held by rebel fighters are being pounded by government artillery as if there were no ceasefire. And as ever, the international community is split on how to end the violence. Russia, which has vetoed UN resolutions on sanctions against Syria, is still ruling out military intervention.
I
have already said at the Security Council that Russia will not sanction the use of force, and I will repeat it again. This is not because we are protecting Assad and his regime, but because we know that Syria is a complicated, multi-confessional state, and because we know that some of those calling for military intervention want to turn Syria into a battleground for domination in the Islamic world.
Russia has called for an international conference on Syria, but diplomacy is making painfully slow progress, just as events on the ground are accelerating and as the conflict is becoming ever more violent.